Assalamu alaikum, everybody. How are you feeling? I can't tell you, I am so filled with emotion right now because I want you to know that even though I know it's been 2 years into this horrific genocide, and I often say there is no language that can quite describe how my people have been exterminated using every single weapon imaginable and conceivable to humankind.
Shame!
Shame! And I want you to know that right now, I usually speak off the cuff, I'll be honest, but I did prepare something and I'll tell you why. I don't want to miss anything. This is too important. This is too important. We're 2 years into a genocide. Our people right now are being limited to smaller and smaller and smaller areas of land. They are literally invading Gaza as we speak. Gaza City. Okay? Gaza City. Shame!
Shame!
So with that, I want you to know with the words that I'm about to say, I am centering the hundreds of thousands of martyrs because we know that the number is much higher than 60,000. We know that. I'm centering all the Palestinians, the journalists, the truth tellers, the children, the mothers, the fathers, the elderly, everyone who has survived over 2 years of genocide. And even as we speak, I'm getting notifications. 10, 20, another 30 Palestinians killed. This has been what it has meant to be a Palestinian for 2 years, to constantly see notifications of death on my phone. And I can't tell you how painful that is to me as a Palestinian. And with that, I'm going to begin. It has been 700 days of watching what these weapons do to my people. 700 days of extermination in every form imaginable. Weapons that behead, weapons that dismember, weapons that shred bodies into pieces, weapons that tear off arms and legs, leaving children, women, men, yes, because we are not going to dehumanize our Palestinian men. Yes, men and elderly, thousands amputated for life. Weapons that burn flesh into bone, weapons that bury families alive in their homes. Shame! Gaza has become the world's laboratory of extermination. Hear that again. Gaza, 25-mile strip of land, people that are trapped, forbidden to flee. It's become a laboratory of extermination. On a strip, this has been confirmed. Over 100,000 tons of explosive have been used against the people that have been trapped on a 25-mile strip of land. Shame! That is equivalent to 6 to 7 Hiroshimas, more than was used in Dresden. Scattered grain by grain onto 2.3 million people. We know that number is far lower now. Fenced in, forbidden to flee. Shame! And even when death is not immediate, there's no escape. There's a nana. The endless buzzing of drones, the psychological warfare is still sleep, silence, peace. It drills the skull until the body shakes at nothing. Even sound is weapon. Gaza in a state of starvation. Famine is confirmed. I mean, we've always known that, but now they confirm it. Humanitarian organizations. And the places that were labeled aid hubs, we know that's not what they are. They are manufactured death traps. And I can tell you, for me as a Palestinian, the most painful was watching my people be starved for months and months and months. And they create these 4 hubs, these dead zones, and I'm watching them as they crawl. They walk kilometers, there's no water, there's no restrooms, there's nothing. They get there, they gather all the people, the Zio terrorist forces and US contractors, they're all complicit. And they start shooting at them. We've known people be martyred in this way just to get flour. They're crushed. They're literally shot at. They're sniped at. They're buried alive. These are confirmed stories. Over 2,000 have been murdered this way. So they do this just for bread because they're starving to death. I mean, imagine that. Imagine the cruelty. It's not enough that they're starving our people to death and using every single weapon known to mankind. It's not enough. It's not enough. Because the goal, hear me loud and clear when I tell you this. The goal is to maximize death. This is what we're dealing with. There is no language for what is happening to our people in Gaza. There's no language. shroud is called terror. Shame! And I'm like, I'm going to go public and say this. I do not legitimize the state of Israel. I will go public and say that. I don't care who's here. You know what they're called? And I'm going to tell you. Can I just please make an initiative? Stop calling them Israel. They're the Zionist occupation genocidal terrorist forces. That is what they are. We cannot be afraid of words anymore. We need to call them out for what they are. The Zionist terrorist forces, this is what they've been doing. They call this learning, by the way. They were quoted saying this. They use grenade-dropping quadcopters, flown like video games. Did you guys know that? That's what they've done. They call it a video game. Teaching civilians not to return home. They're killing people using these types of drones to teach them not to return home. And we know how many times that people have been displaced. 14, 15, 16, 17, 20.
Do you have any change?
Explosive robots that level streets in minutes. Surveillance clouds ingesting 1 million intercepted calls an hour. Feeding machines that decide who breathes. Shame! Project Nimbus. Let's not forget about Project Nimbus that lays the rails. Compute, storage, artificial intelligence at national scale. A system designed to turn an entire population. Half of them are children. Did you guys know that? Half of Gaza are children underneath the age of 18. They've turned our entire population into a target. Shame! Shame! And language is weapon, and this is why A New Humanity was founded. Language is weapon. There's a legitimization cell. We saw what happened to Anas al-Sharif. We saw what happened with the double tap. There's something called, you can look this up, legitimization cell, built basically to manufacture consent for the assassination of our journalists. It is to make their murder appear lawful. Shame! Shame! Over 270 journalists and media workers have been killed, more than ever in any history, in any war. Marked, delegitimized, executed, words that were turned into bullets. And this is why I tell you, there is the power in words. Words matter. Western media, as you know, it flips the roles, right? Massacres become operations. Neighborhoods become targets. Starvation is crisis. And even after, and this is when you know, by the way, that we're living in an insane world. Every single human rights organization, including the Association for Genocide Scholars, declared it a genocide. But for whatever reason, Western media still can't bring itself to call it a genocide. They're still calling it war. Shame! And I want you to consider, if the roles were reversed, if Palestinians, if our heroic resistance fighters, long live our armed resistance, if they caged a people and they dropped Hiroshima after Hiroshima, would anyone hesitate to name it? No. Shame. This tells you that the dehumanization of our people did not start after October 7th. It's been taking place for over 76 years. This is deliberate. When mass murder is normalized, people move on. Commute, resume, the emails go out. Palestinian death has become background noise. A ticker that we have been swiping before we work. While life goes on elsewhere, our numbers go down. Families have been erased, births have been denied, and names have been deleted. And I want to warn everybody, if this continues, there's going to be fewer and fewer and fewer Palestinians. This is why we need to understand that this is Zionism, which is a product to annihilate the Palestinian people, our land, our memory. Before I end, I want to add that not all our dead are counted. We know that when we talk about weapons here. The rebel holds unknown numbers. So does the calendar. Slow deaths from cancers with no chemotherapy, no radiation, infections with no antibiotics, kidneys with no dialysis. Our people are not even worthy of medicine. Our children are not even worthy of medicine. That is the message that Palestinians are hearing in Gaza. And let's not forget that the air, the dust, the water carry toxins and heavy metals from munitions and pulverized concrete. We can't forget that. They're inhaling this. So what that means is we do not yet know the damage to the children not yet conceived. So this Palestinians' future. Our streets have been turned into interrogation yards, shelters into holding pens, detention sites into torture camps, where internationally known doctors are sexually tortured to death. Our archives and our libraries have been reduced to ash. And the biggest insult for us, as if digging up our dead could prove we never lived, they envy our martyrs. But we exist, we remember, we refuse to be erased. And as we've been saying this, and we've been saying this since before the Nakba, we do not need a declaration. We knew what Zionism, for what it is. It's a gradual genocide that has now have been accelerated by precision munitions, by artificial intelligence, by siege and media laundering. Our people have bled it, they've buried it, they've recorded it, they screamed it. We have a right to resist. We have a right to resist our annihilation. We have the right to armed resistance. To resist is not a crime. To submit to extermination would be. We resist so our children will breed. We resist so Palestine lives. And understand this, if this is allowed, if we continue to allow over 400 Palestinians killed in one night, what's to tell you they're not going to create weapons that kill 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, and it's already making its way into our cities and borders. Some of those same weapons are being used across the world. So just know it's not going to end in Gaza. Right now, Zionism exports a system of racial domination. What is sold to you, sold to the Zayos, it's being sold to borders, to police, to cities everywhere. I'll end with, we exist, we resist. We will fight until Palestine is free. And is there a bigger terrorist in the machine? We're afraid of using words. Is there a bigger terrorist in the machine that murders children by tens of thousands, starves millions, poisons the future, and calls it self-defense? No, they are the terrorists. All eyes on Gaza.